The modern world runs on a single, invisible nervous system. Every data center processing your messages, every bullet train crossing a continent, and every traffic light managing millions of commuters relies on a constant, unbroken flow of electricity. Now imagine if that entire system simply stopped. What if, at exactly minute zero, the power for the entire planet was switched off at the exact same time? When a local substation blows a fuse, it's an inconvenience. You light a candle and wait for neighboring grids to route power your way. But in a synchronized global blackout, there is no neighboring grid. There is no cavalry coming. This leaves humanity with a very specific ticking clock, exactly 24 hours to survive in a suddenly unpowered world. This constant flow of electrons acts as a primary life support system for the 21st century, sustaining nearly every physical process we depend on to stay alive. Within the first 60 minutes, the friction of daily life turns to concrete. Millions of commuters are left stranded mid-journey as traffic lights go dark and electric rail lines suddenly lose propulsion. Below ground, subway trains roll to a dark, unventilated halt. In high-rises around the world, millions of people are instantly trapped between floors in steel elevator cars. They are completely cut off from the outside world. Up in the airspace, the situation is immediate. Thousands of commercial flights suddenly lose contact with ground control. The automated guidance systems required to land safely drop offline, leaving pilots to navigate crowded skies entirely by sight. This exposes a concept known as kinetic dependence. Our infrastructure is built on the assumption of constant forward motion. We rely on continuous electrical feedback loops to brake trains, space out airplanes, and pump air into underground tunnels. The immediate threat to human life in Hour 1 has nothing to do with the dark. The danger is the sudden, unmanaged halt of human momentum. As the clock hits 12 hours, the physical halt transitions into structural failure. The stopgap measures, the batteries and localized backup systems, start running empty. This diagram illustrates a standard cellular tower's hidden architecture. Normally, it draws from the main grid, but the power input shifts. It relies on an internal battery reservoir engineered for a few hours before dropping to zero. When that final tower drops offline, the telecommunications network collapses. Police, fire, and medical responders are completely severed from each other. At the same time, municipal water pressure vanishes. It requires massive electrical pumps to push water up into high-rise tanks and through miles of pipes. Without that continuous physical force, millions of taps instantly run dry. In urban hospitals, the math becomes grim. Intensive care units rely heavily on finite supplies of diesel fuel to keep backup generators, ventilators, and life support machines running. As those tanks empty, patient care deteriorates rapidly. By Hour 12, the illusion of localized self-sufficiency evaporates. The hidden, electrified pumps and servers that make dense urban living possible have simply ceased to exist. Approaching the 24-hour mark, a second night falls. Without radio, television, or internet, the absolute information vacuum breeds severe isolation and leads to the very beginnings of social fracturing. Our entire global logistics network operates on delicate, just-in-time supply chains. Without servers to track inventory or automated distribution centers to route cargo, the daily delivery of fresh food and critical pharmaceuticals completely freezes. Modern populations lack the mechanical and agricultural skills of the 19th century. We do not know how to preserve food, source clean water, or maintain sanitation without flipping a switch. Hyper-dense urban centers quickly turn into resource traps. Because cities import all their calories and pump all their water, a high-rise apartment transforms into a concrete enclosure without climate control or sanitation. At exactly 24 hours, the reality sets in. Our reliance on complex technology has created a profound physical vulnerability, leaving millions of people completely stranded in a dark world they no longer have the tools to navigate. At Hour 25, the grid hums back to life. Streetlights violently flicker back on, but the returning light exposes streets entirely gridlocked, paralyzed, and chaotic. This map details a black start. Grids need electricity to start heavy turbines. Operators use small generators to jumpstart larger regional plants, step by sequential step. Untangling this global mess takes weeks. Rebooting servers, stalled trains, and supply logistics is a slow, manual process. The economic toll of that single silent day reaches well into the trillions, and the human cost, derived from interrupted medical care, accidents, and resource scarcity, compounds rapidly. The electrical grid is a fragile ecosystem we treat as a permanent fixture of nature. Surviving the future requires rethinking this architecture, shifting away from massive single points of failure and building decentralized networks that can actually weather the dark.